Hello and welcome to tonight's LOL Esports Roundup. We're going to cover a couple of player moves, the LCS games from last night, and the LPL and LCK games from this morning. We will then preview the LPL and LCK games for Friday and LCS Week 4 Day 3. News, Team Liquid. So if you're not watching LCS right now as this is being recorded, Team Liquid have brought up APA, always plan ahead. They are a former collegiate mid laner. Well known if you pay attention to NA Amateur for being, at least from my perspective, on LOL Tyler 1's Twitch Rivals team once, or maybe even twice. You know, played for the Maryville squad in college, has put up a good win rate in Academy, but in my opinion, these numbers do not scream promotion. 3.9 KDA, 8.5 CS per minute, 65.3 KP. So very average in both CS and KP at the NACL level. 431 gold per minute, 615 damage per minute. That means 22.9% of the team's gold, so that is secondary carry-like. And 27.1 damage share, that is secondary carry-like. Had 11 solo kills in 24 games. But on average, he's only up 120 gold, 1 CS, and 50 XP, played 10 champions. So he is not getting ahead in laning phase against amateur and other academy mid laners. So I am a bit concerned as to how he'll do at the LCS level against better mids, frankly. Harry is benched. He had a 3.7 KDA, 8.4 CS per minute, 59.2 KP. I am not saying Harry has done well, because these numbers are not very good. We're below average in CS over the entire game, and very low in KP. He's not in the right place at the right time at all, because he's not farming, he's not getting involved. 398 gold per minute, 607 damage per minute, so he still finds a way to deal nearly the same amount of damage as APA. However, in terms of relative to the team, only 20.9% of the team's gold share. Probably because Summit, you know, plays more carries. 24 damage share. Once again, he is a third tier carry. No solo kills. However, in the LCS, on average, he's up 460 gold, 5 CS, 325 XP, played 4 champions. So, is he dominating his lane opponent? No, but on average, he's up 460 gold. So, in my opinion, what it looks like to me is he's fine laning, but it is being in the right place at the right time, roaming properly, being there for team fights. He just isn't doing that in the mid to late game. And that is a problem. I'm not saying that he isn't worthy of being benched. It's just a fact of the matter that I don't think APA is necessarily, you know, gonna make this better, if you will. Sorry, something bit me. Ultra Prime. They've signed Dream to play mid. Dream played for Ninja in Pajamas last split and Victory 5 last year. Had a 2.5 KDA, 8.1 CS per minute, 61.3 KP with Nip. He struggled a lot. I thought Pout outplayed him, and he got benched. 362 gold per minute, 395 damage per minute. That is very bad. 21.2 gold share, 19.3 damage share. That is third tier carry. Borderline, the jungler may out DPM you sometimes. Like, that's very bad. 9 champions in 22 games. Now, Forge is out. You know, he's being benched. Similar to TL, this is not a situation where I don't think the starter should have their job. I think Forge has been pretty bad. Last series, he led the team in damage, had a nice KDA, but over the 28 games in the split, 2.2 KDA, 7.8 CS per minute, 71.4 KP. At least he's more involved than Dream was with Nip, right? But it's a little less farm, dies more. 366 gold per minute, 519 damage per minute. That's not great, but it's certainly better than what Dream did. 20.9 gold share, so third tier carry in terms of Fed. 26.3 damage share. I mean, Forge deals damage. He gets involved, more facilitator oriented, but he can't do it in lane. 11 champions across 28 games. I mean, Ching should be playing. The fact of the matter is that Ching was let go after a rookie split that I thought was okay given the way Ultra Prime are as a team. And they let him go, and they went with Forge, and Forge is not very good, and Dream is not very good, but this is all that's really left out there in free agency that wants to play. So it's not great. Recap predictions first. Recap predictions. 169 and 75. The math might not add up, but I figured out that maybe I had screwed up my prediction standings. They're updated on the Discord now, and I'm 169 and 75 on the spreadsheet, including these games here. So we'll quickly go over this. LCS, NRG, NRG would win. They're 4 and 6, TL 5 and 5. FBI was MVP, 935, 37% of damage on Jinx. Palafox 307 on Azir. Eon 612, 36% of damage on Aphelios, I believe. TL and NRG went back and forth. NRG were able to get an advantage, and TL made a couple really big stands, Eon being a key to those. I think he had a triple kill at one point. However, FBI was all over the place on the Jinx. He even found ways to be, effective across the rift. He hit a rocket across the rift. And really, to be quite honest, it makes sense why Harry got benched. TL were in a position to win this game, and they threw. Harry having a lot to do with that. And it made me debate making, shoot, who was it? Maybe it was just that's where I decided to make FBI MVP, because Palafox did look very good in the early game. Harry just kept getting caught out. I think he got caught out 3 times in the mid game, and it allowed NRG back in, and NRG really just were able to go from there. It's not great, because Summit was doing very well into Dokla, able to even take Inhib, I think, with Fiora in topside. TL had this game, and it was just a ugly throw. 100 Thieves, FlyQuest, 100 Thieves win. Quid, 109, 33% of damage on Azir. His one kill was a solo kill of Vikla. Someday, 218 on Malphite, was MVP. Impact, 131, 28% of the team's damage on Renekton. Someday was MVP. He had a key Malphite ulti in the mid game that gave 100 Thieves the lead, which 100 Thieves would then use to start dismantling the FlyQuest base, and then recall, and then honestly Someday had another solid ulti, and that was really all there was. It wasn't a high kill game, and Frank, I mean, it's the deal. I thought Doublelift looked good at times on the Varus. Got picked off though as well. Like, it's not that FlyQuest rolled over real easy. You'd like Prince to show up a bit more. You'd like Vikla to show up a bit more. But it didn't happen as FlyQuest, fell to 3 and 7, and 100 Thieves 5 and 5. Golden Guardians C9. Golden Guardians win. They're now 7 and 3, as are Cloud9. Gory went 305, 32% of damage on LeBlanc. River 609 was MVP on, you guessed it, J4. Eminez 243, 33% of damage on Annie. River and J4 are like peanut butter and jelly. If you give him Jarvan, you are putting yourself in a predicament. His Jarvan is very good. It's his best champion. And he is best when he is allowed to facilitate. He is, I think he's just as good as Malrang, if not better. And the fact of the matter is, he is so good on facilitators. He found a way to get lit, take out Fudge a couple times. He found ways to affect the bot lane of Cloud9. Really just gapped Blabber, to be honest with you, in terms of making things happen. And that's just how River is. He is best with his mid laner doing work. Gory did his job, obviously, dealing a good amount of damage, not dying. And Cloud9, they've lost a couple games now where they really shouldn't have the last couple weeks. Dignitas EG win, finally, going to 8 and 2, Dig 5 and 5. Unforgiven was MVP on Xayah, going 14, 1 and 4, 34% of damage. Armeo 2016 on Ivern, Tomo went 3-4-8, 37% of damage on Ziggs. Unforgiven got after the bot lane of Dignitas in this one. He and Isla crushed them. You know, Armeo took a trip down there, and then after that, Unforgiven said, don't worry, I've got this. And Unforgiven just started picking them off time and time again on the Xayah, was effective in the mid lane, effective in the jungle. It was just the Unforgiven show on Xayah, frankly. You know, even though Rich, I think, had an advantage over Revenge, it didn't matter. Jensen struggling into JoJo. Jensen on the Tristana, not able to be a carry threat. Despite Tomo dealing a decent amount of damage, as he's being like railroaded in bot lane, Jensen really couldn't offset that. And it's unfortunate because, you know, Dignitas have won a couple games. They have a decent record now. And honestly, I think Rich has the potential to 1v9 if he really puts his mind to it. You know, similar to how Summit did last year in spring for Cloud9. So, you know, that's kind of the thing. I'd like more out of Rich. Jensen's just, you know, elderly. Now, as far as EG's concerned, though, that bot lane is very good. Unforgiven. And this is how Isla was expected to play alongside Prince, essentially. And it makes you wonder if there was a language diffy issue going on, you know, because, you know, they've done really well together. Then again, FlyQuest are 3-7. Maybe it's not the support, it is Prince. Immortals TSM. TSM win. Wild Turtle was MVP going 6-1-8. 46% of damage. Chime 0014. Tactical 524, 29% of damage in the loss. This was back and forth until finally TSM were able to find a way to win. I thought Boogie on Nautilus was effective at times. I thought Insanity on Yone. If I didn't look at stats to determine MVP, like, okay, I don't look at stats to determine MVP, but if I do look at them, you know, they play a role. To determine is the wrong word. As part of the determination process would be the proper way to say that. Insanity, I thought, in team fights was very effective on the Yone. I thought he was a difference maker. I was of the belief, and I feel like, his roam in the early game in laning phase to go to bot lane to get a couple kills, that allowed TSM to get an advantage on the bot side of the rift and then run with it. However, when a player has 46% of your damage, they're going to get MVP because literally, that's pretty damn valuable, right? If you deal half the team's damage, I would say you could not have done without that player in the game. So, that's kind of the deal there. Immortals, they tried to play Balulu's Vel'Koz. Balulu couldn't get it done, unfortunately, for him. Kenvi, Struggle Street, solo is solo. He's not going to be able to carry a game. So, you know, despite the bot lane of Immortals finding moments, you know, Tactical clearly has a decent KDA there. They couldn't get it done as TSM win the key team fights in the late game to seal the deal. LPL, Anyone's Legend, LNG. LNG win 2-0. They're 9-4. Anyone's Legend 4-9. Tarzan was MVP on Sejuani both games. Scout 15-2-13, 33% of damage in mid. Hung 2-2-28 at support. ZQE once again doing well in a loss for Anyone's Legend. 7-6-9, 30% of damage. Tarzan had Zhao Hao's screen on a second monitor. That is a joke, but the fact of the matter is that he was able to essentially ghost without ghosting where Zhao Hao was on the Rift in the early game and snuff him out time and time again was pretty impressive. Zhao Hao tried to play Diana game 1. That did not work as Tarzan was there in mid lane to help scout a couple times, allow the Jace to then carry the game in the mid to late game. But then Tarzan in game 2 also went mid, went bot, went top. Zhao Hao unable to keep up outside of a ZDZ double kill and GQE doing okay at moments. Anyone's Legend were struggling harder, did not look very good in this one. Gapped by quite a bit. Game 2 was worse than game 1 out of the carries for Anyone's Legend. I mean, GQE's value really came in game 1 more so. Yeah, it was a lopsided, you know, after predictions yesterday, in the roundup I said, none of these matchups are really all that inspiring. And this is not a surprising result. That's why I'm going over these games kind of quickly, because it's like, these are all really, these ones are all just expected. Rare Adam, Team Wii win 2-0. Shanks 11-1-8, 33% of damage in mid lane. He played Annie both games, I think. Hung 6-0-21 in the jungle was MVP. Asum 2-5-4, 34% of damage in the loss. Asum played a Vayne in game 2, and actually they did get a kill in bot lane, which was nice. However, Hope on Kesa would then run the show after that. Now, Hung gets MVP. He solo killed Layan in the early game of game 2, and he was very effective on the Sejuani, similar to how Tarzan was in the first game. Like, Hang was all over the place. His KP was very high. He and Shanks just kind of running the rift. Zhaozhu was irrelevant with Cube in top lane. And they played Mole in mid for Rare Adam. And I'm not going to say it was his fault. You know, I'm not going to hide the fact. I've said it multiple times. I'm not too impressed by Mole. But I thought that he was not the reason why they struggled outside of passiveness. But maybe that's because he is afraid of getting benched again. I think that's theoretically possible. You know, he had a 0-0-0 KDA with decent CS when Team Wii ended up getting an advantage in one of the games. I mean, not getting the advantage, but, you know, opening up enough of a lead where it was going to be tough for Rare Adam to come back. I mean, honestly, I think for Team Wii, you could have picked any of the, you know, jungle, mid, or AD carry, because Hope did, like, he had a quadra kill on Kesa. There were moments that really, really looked outstanding. But Hung setting them up on Sejuani was just as nice as the rookie. Honestly, with the way things have went, just thinking without looking at the rookies list, Hang deserves, I mean, I think I said this in spring, like, that he deserved a little more love. Not that he should win it, because YS Cam was so good at the time, and Leave. But the way he's played in summer, and Leave not playing anymore for now, it's hard to really say that Hang isn't possibly Rookie of the Year for LPL. Thunder Talk IG. Thunder Talk win 2-0. UCal 21-1-11. 29% of damage on Tristana was MVP. Hoya 1 kill and 20 assists with no deaths in top lane as he played Poppy both games. On 256, 26% of damage for IG. Thunder Talk smoked them. Game 1. Game 2 was a chaotic mess between 2, 3, and 9 teams that Thunder Talk would then crush IG in the mid to late game. 1xN on Varus definitely deserves some credit for thoughts of being MVP. I thought that he was excellent. But UCal, time and time again on the Tristana, would just jump in there and, you know, do a buster shot or deal a ton of damage, get a few kills. Like, he was very, very good in this series. And IG really didn't have anything going for themselves. Cryin sucked. YS Cam, he had a nice Jax 4-man stun or whatever, but IG couldn't follow up on that because they were just so bad. Tianjin looked out of place. It was awful for IG. One of IG's worst series of the split, in my opinion. So Thunder Talk run him over, and UCal and 1xN are definitely the reasons why. LCK Nongshim HLE. HLE win 2-0. Viper 24-2-4. 38% of damage was MVP. Grizzly 8-1-13 in the jungle, which is good, obviously, against a fellow rookie in Sylvie, but still, Sylvie's a few years older than him, I believe, or at least a couple. Fiesta 4-5-5, 36% of damage in the loss, once again putting up an okay KDA and a lot of damage as he tries to keep that job from Quad. So this is one of those Viper 1v9 situations, and it'd probably be not fair to HLE because I think that they really beat Nongshim in every way. Kingen solo killing Din Din in top lane multiple times in game 1. Grizzly, I mean, being able to really outplay Sylvie multiple times. Zeka doing his thing, getting ahead of Fiesta. I would say the mid lane, I guess, was kind of close. But then the bot lane, Viper and Life, just Jiwoo did play for Nongshim. I know we talked about it yesterday, the possibility that I thought they might not. He did play. Jiwoo and Peter were out of the league of Viper and Life this morning. I mean, Viper just I couldn't believe he didn't get a penta, really, because of, I mean, he came close. Officially a quadra, but it was close to a penta. I mean, it was disgusting. It was disgusting. There was a diffy between these two teams. This is the HLE that, like, everyone expects them to be, but then they go and play their next series, and they're going to lose, because that's just HLE. Kind of like Weibo, if you will, but different in terms of just inconsistent play. It was a Viper show. I mean, when you have 24 kills and 4 assists, Viper show. Sandbox and Genji. Genji went 2-0. Doran, 7-1-16, 29% of damage in top lane. I think he played Quinn and Gangplank. Chovy, 3-0-23 in mid. Closer, 4-7-3, 37% of damage for Sandbox. However, Pays was MVP. And you'll say to yourself, why? Well, he got another penta. And for the player pool folks that have Pays, 2 pentas is going to be really a lot of points in that little deal there. As a Pays enjoyer, that's nice for me. The kid has matched expectations. Really, in all honesty, when you see JDG and Genji play, I mean, JDG probably win. But given the age and experience difference, I really don't think that Pays has done much worse than Ruler would have done with Genji. I mean, they're 8-0 and they're 9-0. They won spring. Ruler never went to MSI. So, he'd finished second multiple times, though, probably. So, I mean, you could argue that now the new system allows for second seed to make it, but they did win first. They did win to get in. So, I mean, there's, you know, a certain way to look at it. But Pays has done more than enough. Just very good. Very good. Outside of that, though, I was going to make Peanut MVP. I thought Peanut's Poppy was on point. He got the team ahead despite being playing remotely due to COVID, I imagine. So I thought that he was very, very effective getting Doran ahead in the top lane, and he was just matching where Willer was going. I think he even solo killed Willer at one point in a 1v2 and still got away. Just a masterclass by Peanut, being a facilitator, one of the best, if not the best facilitators in the world right now. But it doesn't matter because Pays got MVP because he was just excellent in team fights, and Sandbox really didn't have much going for themselves. Teddy is a older player that could play that deft role if necessary, but there is not a strong enough carry, closer, or Birdall to get the job done in the solo lanes for Sandbox. And I mean, I thought Sandbox would be even with how they went in spring, swapping out 80 carries. They got a lot worse, to be quite honest. Now, sneak peek for tomorrow. LPL. LGD, EDG. LGD are 2-10, coming off of a win against Team Wii. EDG 12th in the power ranking, 6-6, coming off of a loss to Thunder Talk. Last time these two teams played, EDG would win 2-1. JJ, Fofo, Mako would go 14, 16, and 63 in the win. 1,591 DPM. That's 58% of the team's damage. Meteor, Hai Chao, and Jin Zhao went 17, 17, and 37 in the loss. 1,023 DPM, 53% of the team's damage. So 560 DPM less, that's a big difference. Despite having a nicer KDA, the supportive roles of jungle and support obviously were more impactful. They had many more assists, right? So it was the top 80 carry for EDG that really did the work last time they played. Weibo, Ultra Prime, Weibo 8th in the power ranking, 6-5, coming off of that loss to Team Wii. Ultra Prime 4-8, coming off of a loss to OMG when they played in spring. Weibo won 2-0. The Shy and Light went 14-1 and 28 in the win for 1,362 DPM. 62% of the team's damage. Harry and Doggo would go 6, 11, and 7 in the loss for 901 DPM, so 460 less, and 47% of damage. So I would argue that there is a possibility that the top 80 carries were the difference, because you really look at it in terms of how much of the percentage was. Zhao Hu and Ching probably went pretty close to even in terms of effectiveness in the damage department, as Karsa and Ning probably did. The only real interesting matchup tomorrow in terms of sneak peek, top Esports OMG. Top are 7th at 9-4, coming off of a loss to BLG. OMG are 10th at 8-3, coming off of a win against Ultra Prime. When they played in the playoffs in spring, OMG would win 3-2. Cream went 25-7 and 18 in that one for 32% of the team's damage. Rookie would go 17, 12, and 16 for 23% of damage. So Cream having much more impact in the damage department, had more kills than Rookie. So we'll watch that matchup again tomorrow. Obviously, two teams that we expect to play again in summer playoffs. LCK preview, Brian and KT. Brian are 2 and 6, coming off of a loss to DRX. KT, a win against DRX. Yeah. I think I screwed this one up, but we're going to go over it anyways the way I have it, but I think I made the mistake with D plus DRX. Nevertheless, we're talking about Brian KT. Brian beat DRX. KT beat Nongshim. They're 7-1. KT 2-0 the last time these two teams played. In spring, Cuz went 9-1-10, 12% of damage in the win. Umpty 6-6 and 5 for 19% in the loss. So Umpty a little more important in the damage department, but the team also lost 2-0, so he might not have even had more damage than Cuz in the end. D plus DRX. So D plus are 5-4, 9th in the power rankings, coming off of a win against the Freaks. DRX 3 and 6, coming off of a win against T1. And you're going to say, why did you say that you may have screwed up? I think I looked at the spring results for D plus versus DRX instead of looking at the summer results from the first time they played, because this is the beginning of the second round robin. I have made an error in that department. So the time they played in spring, D plus 1-2-0. Showmaker 7-1-14, 22% of damage in the win. Fate 3-5-3, 27% of damage in the loss. Now you may say to yourself, why didn't you change it? Because this DRX roster outside of Duck Dom is the same one that D plus are going to face tomorrow if things hold from the T1 series. That Fate is in mid and Juhan is in the jungle. So I guess it's closer than what they faced in earlier on in the split, which is probably Krako and Kiehu. Or Yahoo, or Yehu, or... Oh, silent letters. LCS preview. Dignitas FlyQuest. Last time they played, Dig would win. Rich went 3-2-8, 39% of damage on Quinn. Impact 1-2-3, 18% of damage in the loss on possibly Kesante. NRG EG, EG1, Jojo Pune 509, 35% of damage on Gragas. Palafox 040, 39% of damage on Annie in the loss. So, these teams obviously playing for the second time this split. Immortals Cloud9. Cloud9 beat Immortals early on. Berserker 706, 31% of damage in the win. Tactical 143, 28% of damage in the loss. Another thing to keep in mind, despite the games not looking all that inspiring, these teams have shown an ability to suck randomly. So, who knows? Who knows what'll truly happen? Team Liquid 100 Thieves. Team Liquid won last time. Summit went 3-1-3, 31% of damage. Someday 0-4-0, 15% of damage in the loss. Lastly, Golden Guardians TSM. Golden Guardians would win. Gory 2-2-9, 37% of damage in the win. Insanity 3-4-4, 26% of damage in the loss. I mean, I kind of speed ran those LCS previews because, one, games are going on for day 2 today, so whatever about day 3. And like I said, the schedule isn't all that great on paper, so it is what it is. But that's it for the roundup. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord if you want to do the Hall of Fame votes for the 6th class. Only a couple people have participated, so your vote will matter more than it has in the past. So that's there. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube member, and thank you for watching.